1 second. And then I'll be fine. Hi.
Hi.
Very pregnant. You're such a cute child.
Thank you. I'm like hoping to hold on till March. It's too cold for a baby down to the world right now. Too cold.
You be pregnant?
In 3 weeks.
Oh.
Basically right now.
Yeah, like yes. Any day or a month. We don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm trying to make it to March.
Listen.
Right. Hi, welcome. It's now 4 o'clock on Wednesday, February 19th, 2025, on the Columbus Art Commission meeting to order. The next meeting is scheduled, now, our business meetings are still being worked out as we speak. I know we had, I think many of us had an issue with this problem in time, so stay tuned. The next scheduled hearing is on Wednesday, March 19th, 2025, at 4 o'clock in this room, room 204, 111 North Front Street. Now, can we move to swearing in city staff? Can you swear, affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing that's true? I do. It's, you do, or Sophie, that's swear you didn't go there, okay, Sophie. Do you swear, affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, great. See. Would you move to roll call?
Yeah. Commissioner Van Ryan,
Yes.
Commissioner McCartan,
Commissioner Howell?
yeah. Commissioner Brown. And Commissioner Chen.
Let's see. Now we move to the public forum. I think we have 2 items here, right, for public forum. Is there anyone here to speak to the first agenda item on this item?
No, so this is for, so this is for the public, if anyone from the public wants to speak on it, this is for you first. Thank you. Just a.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't see happening.
All right, no one. I'm skipping ahead.
Yep.
Next 7 minutes for the last meeting we had in January. Have everyone had a chance to review the minutes? Do we have a motion to approve the knowledge? Second. Great. All those in favor? Great. Thank you. All right. Now Nathan wants to present. Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna go without that because it's screaming at me. So, all right, you've got COA 25005. It is a request for action for utility box racks. The proposed work description includes installing vinyl racks displaying work by local artists on 5 utility boxes at various locations downtown. The artwork selected are existing pieces by local artists who have approved downtown Columbus aim to reproduce digitized high-resolution images of the pieces on durable vinyl racks. The selected artists are Zach Van Horn, Elizabeth Miller, Anna Sokol, Elisa Workman, and Chaz O'Neill. The applicant is working with Key Blue Defense to produce and install the racks, with the racks being graffiti resistant and laminated with clear UV protectant to resist against light abrasion and scratching, spray paint, markers, adhesives, and colors. The intent is for the art to remain in place for around 3 to 5 years. However, the replacement of this artwork more frequently may be possible. The applicant will be responsible for the ongoing maintenance of the racks for the duration of the replacement and plans to enter into a maintenance agreement with the City of Columbus Department of Public Service, which will be co-signed by the Recreation and Parks Department. Staff analysis is code section 3115.05, which states that the commission should be guided by the preserving of the proper decor of the city, the maintenance of the proper aesthetic values, the providing maintenance of an orderly balance in the location and design of works of art, and the prevention of lighting or deterioration in and around public buildings and works of art. Summary is the proposal generally meets codes related to determination by the commission. And the basis for that is 3115.05 determinations by commission. And we're only gonna just scroll through the work, which they provide the budget, financing, background, the locations, the artwork that's been selected, and where that would go. Materials, timeframe, and their rates.
I guess, yeah, Natalie, come up to the table and have a seat, please. We'll have to swear you in.
Okay.
We do please state your name and your affiliation. Please, great.
Yes, Megan Hurley. I am with Downtown Columbus Inc.
And then if you would raise your right hand again, and do you swear affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do. Oh, good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be back with you all. I think you all have seen this is now the third iteration of this series that we're doing. We're super excited to be pursuing wrapping 5 more boxes this year. We've done 8 total over the past 2 years. The feedback we've gotten has been overwhelmingly positive from the community and our partners. So this year you can see on the first page of the document where we mapped out each location. We were intentional in selecting these locations. They're high pedestrian traffic areas. They're areas of new development, places where we think they'll get high visibility for the artists. So that was a little bit of background on the location selection. In terms of the utilities themselves, 4 out of the 5 locations are traffic control boxes. So the same boxes you'd see that turn the lights from red to green. And then 1 location is a light control box that is along the Soda Mile just south of Broad Street. So that is within the jurisdiction of Columbus Recreation and Parks. So 5 total. The artist selection. So we partnered with Rella, which is a local women-owned organization. If you all are familiar with them. So they are sort of like a mediator between artists and organizations and people who are looking to curate art for their offices, for their home, whatever it might be. And so I worked with them to find artists who do different types of mediums, fine art, things that normally would be seen in an interior setting to bring it out onto the street. And so it's exciting to be able to portray this artwork in a new facility. And the artists have all been super excited to have the opportunity. So that was a continuation from last year, all new artists this year to offer the opportunity to, but we're super excited about that. In terms of the pieces themselves, we wanted to select pieces that really lended themselves to a 3-dimensional shape, because a lot of these are 2-dimensional pieces. And so we wanted them to be something that can be repetitive, because the way they have to get cropped into the templates, we want to do justice to the artwork themselves. So in my communication with the artists, it's, we'll have a template that the vendor who prints it, installs these vinyl wraps, provides. We'll get the digital reprint from the artist, and then I'll work to put it into the template, and then the artist will then approve how it's being cropped and kind of spliced together so that they feel like the integrity of their artwork is being displayed how they would want it to be. So that's part of the process post-approval, obviously. Materials, I think, you did a great job explaining about that. And obviously we would absorb the responsibility of maintaining that if there were to be any damage or repairs needed over the lifespan of the artwork. And then, excuse me, in terms of timing, we anticipate these will probably last 3 to 5 years. They can last up to 10. We just aren't necessarily committing to that in case we want to rotate these out, or in case there's some light wear and tear that we want to swap out for something new in the meantime. Target for installation as soon as we can. So the installation of this material is dependent on the weather. Obviously, it is really cold right now, so we're probably looking at like April-ish for installation. I think it has to be between like 50 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit to be optimal for installation. So we're targeting April roughly. And then one of the things that we've talked about in this program previously with this group is the recognition of the artists themselves. So I did want to call out that we did rebrand our organization and we launched a new website this past year. And so we have a page dedicated on our website to all of the public art that we've invested in downtown. And it showcases all of the boxes that have been wrapped along with some of the other public art projects. And so we will do QR code stickers that go next to each box that drives to that page on the website so that folks walking by can scan that QR code, see not only the artist that did that particular box, but some of the other artwork they could find in the downtown streetscape.
So I guess now we open the floor for questions from us, but I do have a question. And so
Yeah.
the pieces are kind of retrofitted into this format, right? It's not that the artists have designed work specifically for the boxes.
That is correct. So all of these pieces are already existing pieces, and the artist fee that we pay them for is like a reproduction fee. So they approve us the rights to then reprint an existing piece.
So you mentioned about the QR code next to the box. Is it a sticker or?
It depends on the box and the location. Some of them we've placed it like on the sidewalk next to the box. We did 2 sprinkler boxes along the side of mile last year where there's no sidewalk, so we had to adhere the sticker to like a section of the box. They're small, they're like 6 inches by 6 inches, so they don't take away from the artwork. But there were a couple that we had to stick them directly over the vinyl on the box to make it visible.
So it takes them to, if it's delivered to the website, the office or to them?
It takes it to our website where we explain the program. There's pictures of the box, the artist name, and I think we have their like into their social media handles or website, but I'll have to check on that. Yeah.
We can write on the website as well, but I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure we have websites.
Yeah. I'll check on that because we can definitely make sure we're linking on our page for people who want to see more art by that artist to make sure that that's linked.
Part of your page is that the actual list of them. Got that stuff on this website. I was just kind of.
Yeah. So under projects and initiatives at the top, then there's a number of different categories. Public art is one of them. So you'll click to public art and then all the public art projects will be listed there. I think murals are at the top, followed by the all box step. But the QR codes themselves take you directly to that public art page. So you don't have to go just to like downtown Columbus Inc. and then find it yourself.
When I hit, when I hit projects and initiatives, it took me to parks and public spaces, and then it's broke down into areas. So it says Columbus Commons, Capitol Law, Side of the Mile.
I think if you keep scrolling, that there should be more categories. I'm not familiar with the tablet layout of our site, I'll be honest. But I think if you go down, public art, yeah. And then it should, their public art should be its own section. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem. Yeah, of course. Yeah. The parklet? No. Yeah, no, we removed it in when current came down, unfortunately, yeah.
What's that?
I think April. Yeah. Yeah. Early April.
I think I do have a suggestion.
Yeah.
I do think that you're starting to grow those cats. And the way that you, maybe streamline people like that, piece what she was saying, I think is super, important because your 6-inch QR code won't get my card in that. Then, you know, unless I can scan it from the street, I'm not gonna even consider the thing to kind of put a QR code there too. So I'm thinking, you know, if every box had the downtown Columbus, .com/art public art, and that is consistent along all your boxes, all your projects, and then your website starts to basically be the main spot in which they can get the information on. You know, it'll just help because the QR code thing is important for the artist to get the credit, but it may not be connected.
Yeah,
And so what's happening is you're getting this bigger catalog of art now.
right.
So maybe that could be an easier way for us to find out about the artist is coming to your catalog rather than each individual piece of art that you guys are doing, someone having to go to the card, QR code it, scan it. That'd be one way to do it. It's only
Yeah.
QR coding your bars.
Yep,
You know, so
fair.
we get us connected to the driver.
Yep. Yeah, and that's fair. And I know like even with QR codes, there's been skepticism on like there's
Yes.
scams going around with QR codes and things. I think we have the URL listed below the QR codes, like if you wanted to type it in. Yeah. But yeah, I hear you, like it's geared toward the pedestrian, the passer, so
I was just thinking about how your catalog is being presented now.
yeah.
It's not just one or two pieces of art, now you've got a catalog.
I know, which is great. It's a great problem to have. And yeah, I think with the new website too, like we're still with our marketing team figuring out what are the right layouts for all the different projects and things. So that's helpful feedback for us to think about as we fine tune some of these.
Slider on your homepage.
What's that? Yeah.
Take a chunk of people, artists, and put them in that slider so that people can put down deeper into your site.
Yeah, definitely. I'll talk to our marketing team and see if we can highlight these from time to time a little more often.
Each time. Published in this slider.
They can add it.
That's,
It's like, check it out on the page, isn't that fun?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it'd basically be this and then slider, go down into something else. That's really all I can.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. I'll have to talk. I'm not the web designer, so I'll talk to our marketing team and see if
It's a
there's,
good point to think about how you might get people deeper into the site so they can see things over time.
for
Because
sure.
My thought has grown so much, which it looks great. I love this site.
Thank you.
Page to a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. We're fortunate too. We have a really great social media team that helps drive to some of those things too. So we definitely get creative with how we, with all these projects, showcase different things through our Instagram and Facebook. And thank you.
It's like we.
I make a motion to approve.
I'm sorry. Oh, this is good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
So COA 25-0066, it is actually a conceptual review for a mural wall relocation. So the Children's Alliance is seeking a conceptual review of a proposal to revise the format and location of the temporary mural for the 2025 Summer Spring event. The project, which currently takes place on a 160-foot long by 8-foot tall mural wall, is meant to represent both unity and diversity amongst the artists and their creation while providing opportunity for exposure. The packet includes possible revisions to the wall for further visual connectivity and to help increase engagement with the project. The project is located in Victorian Village, and the applicant will to present these changes to the Victorian Village Commission for approval before returning to the CAC for final approval. Staff analysis is code section 3115.05, which states that the commission should be guided by the preserving of the property form of the city, maintenance of the proper aesthetic values, providing and maintenance of an orderly balance of the location and design of works of art, and the prevention of light or deterioration in and around public buildings and works of art. Summary is the proposal meets the guidelines, but this proposal is only appearing for conceptual review, and the basis for that is code 3115.05, determination by convention.
Hi there.
State name and affiliation to the case.
Yes, Rachel Kengetter from the Short North Alliance.
Will you raise your right hand and you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Thanks. Thank you. Hi. I think the first time I came before this commission was last year for Summer Spray, and here we are back again. We are considering some reimaginings of how the summer spray program works, in particular to drive further engagement with the public art. We have some new software that's kind of shown us that pedestrian foot traffic really hasn't changed much since even before the pandemic, and in fact, in some seasons has decreased on the cap here. Leading us to believe that we could be doing more to draw folks into this space and into engage with the art. And so we want the commission's input on our perspectives on how we might be able to do that. And then we'll do the same with the Victorian Village Commission, obviously, and then come back for approval before we get our artists selected for the year. So the wall as it exists now is tucked against the easternmost edge of the cap up behind the buildings where they go over 670. So that's this year's art. And our proposal is to increase the visibility in any number of ways. There's a lot of vehicular traffic in this area, particularly coming up and down Park Street or driving actually the other way on Goodale. And so we have a couple of thoughts around shifting the wall, potentially, if you'll pause there, yeah, shifting it further west towards Goodale Park. So it's a little more visible from High Street and the convention center, a little more visible as you're actually walking down past the restaurant Hyde Park. You can actually see the end of the wall and be drawn in a little bit sooner if the wall is just scooted down towards the corner there. Another possibility is to split the wall in two pieces, and it would fit almost perfectly. Where you see the yellow stripes there, one is kind of tucked behind a bus park, not a bus stop, a bike parking space facing Park Street. And as you pull up to the light there at Park and Goodale, you get a good chance to sit and pause and take in the art before the light changes. And then again, along the fence wall, sorry, this is also very hard to explain, along with the tall fences behind the buildings on the cap, again, increasing that visibility from the Goodale and Park intersection. Another idea is potentially getting rid of the wall altogether and painting the concrete that is at the base of the fence. It's maybe about equivalent in terms of square footage, but obviously very different proportions. Something that feels a little more fixed in the space, a little more connected to the space and rooted there, but we believe could still function in the same way that the wall currently does to have an annual refresh and bring new artists into the space. They'd just be thinking dimensionally in a slightly different way. And it would also beautify the concrete, which is an eyesore. And we think that could be really powerful as well. Another possibility that we've been talking about is bringing in either a piece of the existing wall or a new piece of wall to create a legal wall for the community to engage with, and where they would be welcome to put their own tags or graffiti or art pieces on the wall, with some set of community guidelines and monitoring by us and our team to maybe repaint once a month or once a quarter to fresh slate. And then anyone who is following the guidelines would be welcome to then come and contribute and paint as well. So that would be kind of in addition to or in sync with the murals that we would commission from artists as we have been doing over the last several years. We've seen in some research that where there are legal walls where graffiti is permitted, that decreases graffiti in other locations. And it also can be a really engaging moment for the public and for visitors. They become destination-worthy sites in some cities where they exist. And so we're just noodling on that idea and would really love to hear the commission's opinions on that as well. So we've got a range of options that we're considering, and hopefully we'll be able to take some action towards a refresh and a revitalization on this project this year. Yeah, we're all ears.
That corner, so we split them,
Mm-hmm.
facing Goodale and take that section.
I see.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
At least all those existing areas are far away.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
it's confusing, it'll confuse them. Like you said.
I don't think it'll confuse that many people, there's just a lot of local people.
Yeah, that part.
Are you getting pressure from the community to take the wall down?
No,
Is it me or is, short mark becoming, or, like, is the rise of tagging going up around?
it seasonally, it always goes up during the winter because our pressure washers are put away for the season, and so we don't address it quite as quickly. So there's more. I've observed maybe bigger tags and pieces lately, and then it feels like we may have seen in the past. Yeah.
Short more specifically lately.
Mhm.
It looks like you guys are getting tagged more often.
Yeah.
And you guys actually more than other folks do better at covering your tags up faster than most areas of town, so, but, and I think that's what I'm saying is.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Would this be kind of like a response to that?
Mhm.
We see-
We see you, we can validate that as an art form as long as it's within community guidelines. And if you're painting this wall, you're agreeing that it's gonna meet those guidelines.
So like, oh, our stencil about the community guidelines. Where are they gonna-
That, yeah. And well, and if they don't abide by the guidelines, their art gets painted over. So, and yes, they'd be posted at the site, a big old vinyl sticker on the wall that shows what they are. I like the idea of glow in the dark. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Not that we're aware of.
I've seen it in other cities.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thinking about it, I think it's kind of good because you can be a tester for us.
Yeah.
Because I have seen it in other cities and I've seen it be successful for other people, but I
Mhm.
bet it is a location thing.
Mhm.
That's what I think too, in terms of like being a test site, like I think someone's very.
Yeah.
And have staffing to respond as.
Mhm. Mhm.
I like that you guys are thinking about that though, and that you're trying to explore these new ways of approaching the work.
Yeah.
I also appreciate, I remember when you guys came up with summer spray, it was kind of like in the middle of all the BLM stuff too. And so I appreciate that you're being very thoughtful about like still continuing it, but tweaking it, making it better, and even adding components
Mm.
that include like the graffiti wall. For me, I'm more yes than no on that, just because I feel like that's exactly the ideas we need to be kind of testing out as a city, as we approach kind of art, what it means to the community and getting access to certain aspects of art. And if you guys are willing to take that risk, and kind of dabble in the test dummy space for the city, I mean,
Mm.
thank you,
I love the idea of painting on concrete, but I worry that it's too low to complete.
I would say
I'm gonna
that
take the corner.
so is actually a preference for elder muralists.
Mm.
So like, for example, I have a good relationship with several elder muralists. If the wall is higher than 3 feet, don't call them. They want to find them to work for them.
Mhm.
But if it's like low, they can sit down, they will take some of that one.
Mm.
What I think
Low for
is,
me.
yeah, but like for me, I don't want to sit in a low chair and do that. But maybe it's an opportunity to reach out to a specific
Mhm.
muralist. Whether that be a disabled or elder, because that's something they get overlooked all the time when it comes to muraling, because we're always doing technical murals.
Mhm.
So now you're tapping into a whole population that
Yeah.
gets left out in this conversation. And maybe it could be an exclusive opportunity for something like that.
If you paint the concrete wall, do you know how to permission? You need to get some food.
So we get permission from ODOT every year to do the mural. We also get a permit from the city to be in the right of way. So both of those parties would continue to be involved. Yeah.
We're not really giving you any answers, are we? I would say
I did, I gave my.
I'm definitely like, the graffiti wall, what do you call it? Legal wall.
Mhm.
I think that's almost the perfect space to try it.
Yeah, I do too.
I do think it's a good spot to try.
I think it's a great point. Yeah.
And then come back and let us know.
And see how it goes. Absolutely. Maybe it's a 1-year trial and,
Yeah.
and that's that.
I
Uh-huh.
think for the trial as well, I would be to protect the.
The others.
surface in
mhm.
that area.
And I like Lisa's original idea where it's like, make sure it's separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
however you lay out those panels have to be completely separate from the
Mhm.
overall experience.
Mhm. Great.
I do like all the options. Cool. Because you see that coming down High Street, just the flip of that, and you're still catching the other side.
Mhm.
I think still that when we presented to the Victorian Beverage Commission, if the legal wall is part of the idea, they probably will be asking a lot of questions, maintenance and how we monitor.
Yeah.
Keep this concept of spray and then pitch the legal wall separate.
Mm,
One that was shoot down just for
the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah.
It's conceptual.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, so we have a few things. So who's gonna give you a little update, but real quick, wanted to update you on like our commission staff, just so we're on the same page. So I'll let Sophie speak on her part, but for as of now, I will be covering the commission. So you will be, Sophie will be present for the meetings because we'll open her up. But I'll let her speak on what she'll be doing. She's more involved in the girl stuff that I don't know.
So I'll still be involved with maintenance and like larger, larger art projects, things like that. I'm working with Aaron Costa and Mark Billis. We're going to be getting, kind of leading into our next point, we will be getting a draft document for the public art plan at the beginning of March. First document that we've seen. So we will be reviewing that, me and Mark probably, and then we'll take it up to management. But in the meantime, between that, I'd like to meet with you all one-on-one, just to kind of get your input, ask you a few questions, see how we're all feeling, so catch up. But that should be, you should get an update from GCAC. We have asked them to give you an update in March. So, stay tuned on that. We did put a bit more pressure on them just because we haven't really seen. Yes. We haven't had a real physical document other than like slideshows for review. So we wanted to have something that we could actually review and then bring to you to review an actual plan. So stay tuned on that. You should see that very soon.
I have a quick question about that.
Yes.
When you do receive it, say we're working, you and Mark,
Yes.
you review it and you'll see all these red flags and then what? Like, how are you guys handling the business around that and kids?
We're hoping to have weekly meetings with GCAC and probably the team as well, just to try and keep each other on track, fill each other in on what we're thinking. They're not gonna get everything that they want, we're not gonna get. But we're working on a compromise, try and get ourselves to a point where the service will be.
This is just a plan, not a budget. We're not really,
That's that's the plan, so hopefully March. Keep you guys updated if anything changes. And then, do we have an update?
I don't have any updates. I'm just here to observe today.
That's fast.
Yeah, are we done?
Give them minutes so you can.
That's right.
All right, so I guess we're adjourned.
Pretty much all.
we can see that.
Well, let's maybe adjourn.
Let's adjourn.
All right, and let me just set up.